there's a new topic which we shall be discussing, that is called matrix structure, which is depending upon the structure of the or one of a kind of a structure that is followed in organizations. We will discuss about it. So let us see what about creating departments around products. So when uh, earlier the departments were created around the functions. Now when we create departments around the products, then there's another structure which involves when we are following completely the company's products. Okay, so creating departments around the products, it involves organizing the departments of organizations completely on the basis of the company's products or each family of products. It is also called as divisionalization. So some you must have heard that each division or on the basis of each product or family of products, the structure is formed. So what happens, for example, you can take an example of Honda for example. So Honda has two wheelers, Honda has four wheelers. For example, if Honda has heavy motor vehicles, for example, so these are different products. So different divisions, two-wheeler division, there must be two-wheeler department. So it is entirely a self-contained company, right? They treat a product division, which I'm calling as divisionalization, as a complete self-contained company, because for that they have different strategy, they have different people to manufacture, they have different marketing scheme. So it is in itself a self-contained company, and it may, like I just mentioned, it may have its own staff for different activities which is required for that particular product, even for production, sales, marketing, everything, right? And each has control of all or most of the resources it needs to create. For example, the parts which needs to come for two-wheeler of two-wheeler is considered as a separate division, four-wheeler is considered as a separate division. So all the you have, if Honda has to create resources or produce resources and supply its products, so it is altogether a self-contained company which is revolving around a particular product. Another example we can take of let's say ITC. ITC has so many products. It has
Ma'am,
biscuit.
Tata.
Yes, of course, Tata. Yes, Tata is producing so many products. So like I'm mentioning ITC also has many products. For example, it is manufacturing cookies, biscuits, you say, then ghee. It
Stationery
is
items.
ghee.
Stationery items.
Yes, stationery items, and also chocolates, right? So all these products are a kind of a self. Yes, hospitality, of course, Lavkesh.
Ma'am, even in cosmetics as well. Cosmetics
Yes,
is
yes,
also
yes.
producing.
Numerous. ITC has numerous products. And for each product, they are treating each product as a different company. They have a different sales strategy. They have staff, especially for the production of, for example, cookies, for sales of cookies, for marketings of biscuits, you know. So it is, they treat it as a self-contained company. Similarly, in case of chocolates also, they must be having other different people who must be producing it, different people who must be taking care of the marketing, packaging, sales, right? So this is how departments are created around the products. Now, like we mentioned, like we discussed the advantages and disadvantages of creating markets around functions, we shall also discuss the advantages and disadvantages of creating departments around the products. So, anybody who wants to try the advantages?
Ma'am, it would help in producing quality products.
Ma'am,
Mhm.
it increase return to scale.
Of course, yes. Mhm. And see, the main point here is that one unit is responsible for giving undivided attention. to the product. Okay, because it, for example, you take a case of a biscuit, so much importance is laid, emphasis is laid upon biscuits, cookies, right? So what happens, that undivided attention is given to a single product. For example, cookies, its wrappers are selected. If, even for that, a celebrity is chosen who would be doing its ad campaigning. So an undivided attention is paid to the to a single product, so that so that that particular product may not suffer any um, ignorance, or if any attention is not given to it.
So, ma'am, we can say that specialized products are being created again. Like specialization is in the form of
Yes, of course,
products as
because
well.
people who are creating products, who are creating maybe cookies, who are creating chocolates, who are producing ghee, they must be specialized in that manufacturing process, right? So definitely, we have a specialized. They have a specialized team, and one unit is responsible for giving undivided attention to the product. And another thing that happens is that burden burden is lifted from the shoulders of the top manager, because here each product has its own product manager, a kind of a head who is heading maybe cookies. There's head who is taking care of chocolates, so bakery, you can say.
Ma'am.
ITC, yeah, you said hospitality. So there must be a head of hospitality. So the top management, maybe the CEO, he doesn't have the complete burden of the responsibility. The burden is divided and lifted from his shoulders, from the top management and CEO of ITC, to a person who is taking completely care of a simple product. Somebody just dropped something in the chat box. Division with respect to different brands. Uh, but we are discussing one brand who is having different divisions. Okay. Yes.
Can we say that like in an organization works flow in a hierarchical manner, and that is the reason why there's no burden, like you said, that work burden is uplifted. So since the system is working in a hierarchical way, so work burden is less. So people are like following that work structure, which makes burden less, and accordingly there's less chaos,
See,
less
hierarchy
conflicts.
is always there. Even in this case, hierarchy is there. The product manager will definitely report to the top management. But here the product manager has a right to decide. He has the autonomy to decide for his product. Okay, he is the head of the single product, and CEO, maybe he must be taking care, he must be in charge of this product, hospitality, ghee, cookies. So he maybe give, the autonomy is given to the product head, to the division head, because he knows better about his own product, so the hierarchy is still there.
Yes, ma'am.
Hierarchy is always there, but it is always the difference of distribution of power, distribution of autonomy. Okay. In many cases, the distribution of autonomy is not there with the middle level manager or the lower level manager. And like we discussed earlier, in case of Fayol's principles and all. So here, product manager do not have to take permission every time from the CEO. Maybe he just have to inform him, because completely the division head is taking care of the product, because it's a self-contained company. So the product head is responsible for that, and then CEO, he is taking care of all the divisions. So that is a different thing, right? Hierarchies is still there, but now it is a difference in the distribution of autonomy, right to take decisions. Okay.
Ma'am,
And
uh,
G,
can you
for
please give an example of departmentalization on the basis of product in view of hospitals?
yes, of course, why not?
Like,
How could you do that?
no, actually, I'm asking you, like, what can
Okay.
be the products? What could be the products for in a hospital? Like,
In hospitals, there could be, for example, gynae, there could be, for example, orthopedic, For example, the
So,
head
ma'am,
of
the
the
functions and the products will be same. Like the functions on the basis of function and on the basis of product, these are both the
Ma'am,
same.
shall I give answer to this question?
Okay, sure, Anna.
Yeah. So, for example, you have one hospital, and we have different departments in the like in the hospital itself. For example, as ma'am mentioned, that we have a gynecologist, then we have a
Orthopedic.
orthopedic, etc. And then they have research departments as well. So there are different departments within one organization. That is what we call as products. I hope you got my answer for
And
Nas.
see,
Yes,
see,
I
see,
would like to clear it a
in case of
little.
gynecology or in orthopedician, there are chairmen, they are head of the departments who are taking care of all the maybe latest instruments, latest machineries which have to come, and taking care of their human resources, all the doctors. So, all the heads are
Um,
taking care of their own departments.
Ma'am, can
That
I
is
specify a little?
that is all
moreover,
happening in the university as well, right?
moreover,
Yes,
they have
ma'am.
their own assistants that help them maintaining that instruments and as well as a list. They have their own PA. So, like the works, like we have a head of the department, but we have there as well. We have hierarchy that take care of different works. We have junior doctors, we have senior doctors, and we have
Hierarchy is
head of
everywhere,
department.
Kratika. Hierarchy is everywhere. Okay, you can never get rid of hierarchy. They're
Ma'am, can
either
I
flat
specify a little?
structure or there is tall structure. Hierarchy
Yes,
shall
ma'am.
always be there, and of course, CEO may not be typing himself. He must be having a PA. That's understood.
Ma'am, can I specify a little?
Ah, sure, Alma.
Actually, in cases of hospitals, the
Hmm.
division is on the basis of services. It is
Hmm.
mostly concerned with services instead of
Hmm.
products.
Hmm.
So the division would be on the basis of services. For example,
Hmm.
there are different specialities of doctors. There
Hmm.
is gynecologist,
Hmm.
there is
Hmm.
dentist,
Hmm.
there is neurologist and psychiatrist and
Hmm.
so on. So
Yes.
all of them are concerned with providing different services. So that
Yes.
is how we are
Yes.
departmentalized
Yes.
in
Yes.
case of a hospital.
Yes, so the product which you are mentioning, that is actually the product in form of service, and that is how different departments are serving, and each department has been taking care of its own head. Right? I hope we all together are able to, clear your doubt.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Okay,
you. And
thank
I'm
you.
Arma.
Okay, so now what could be the disadvantages of product departmentalization? See, what happens that
It remains confinement to one department only. Like if they like in departmentalization, people are not able to explore other areas. They remain confined to one part only. Can it be considered as an like disadvantage?
but if somebody is specialized in manufacturing a cookie, right? So he has to be there. He has to be there, and if he wants to explore how to manufacture ghee, then it might waste time, right? So specialized people should be there at specialized places. But if still they might be sent to another product division for training, it depends upon the collaboration of the heads of the different products, but not always. Okay, because they have been trained, they have been specialized in their product, and that is the strength of that product.
Ma'am, it is not all pervading because for small scale industries, it is not possible
Mhm.
or financially possible to bifurcate on the basis of products or services.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, see what happens. There is duplication of efforts. For example, like you are mentioning, you both are mentioning what happens. That duplication of efforts happens. That, for example, if a person A is working for one product and person B is working for another product, some or the other task could be similar in both the products. So but still, because they need a different team, they are a different division, they are having employees who might be performing similar tasks for both the products. So it leads to duplication of efforts, and sometimes it also reduces efficiency. Even in the same product also, there could be many employees who may be performing similar tasks, so that could lead to duplication of efforts, and it might reduce efficiency. And moreover, Kritika, which you have mentioned related to that, finding and training people to head each division is a difficult job. For example, if we need somebody who could head a bakery, who could head hospitality, and he's also having experience, also a very well talented and with a lot of experience, then it is not very much possible every time. So finding people who are well trained, or maybe finding talented people who can be trained to head each division, is a very difficult job. Okay. And many times another disadvantage could be, we can discuss later, just let me finish so that we don't, by the end of the class it's not that we haven't even covered the topic. So, and what another thing happens is that since division heads may do their own coordinating, for example, the division heads, for example, the product head is there who is coordinating with the different people at different hierarchy and taking care of all the production and marketing and sales. So what happens, the top manager, the CEO, he may start losing control, because he may not be having control over the product. The whole decisions are taken by the product head, the division head. So if the product head is no longer coordinating day-to-day activities with top management and daily activities or daily updates, then the top management, they loses control over the product. And it, at the end of the year, it is seen that what profit has been made or what profit has not been made. So this could be some of the disadvantages of departmentalization around your products.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
can you also say,
Hmm.
Taskin, go ahead, please.
Ma'am, actually, this can also be happen, like when the demand is low,
Hmm.
then the product cannot be fully utilized. Like you said, in case of ITC,
Hmm.
they have this high quality, and that's why the prices are also high. Like in Dark Fantasy
That is
biscuits,
that could always happen. That could always happen, but different products, different divisions could
yes,
also be in brands which are not very expensive, right? For example, there could be
yes, ma'am. But
many more brands. Yes.
no, that you were talking about ITC, so I had this thing
No,
that
no, it could happen. Yes,
it
yes, it
is
could
kind.
happen. But I'm sure they have, over years, they build their customers, and accordingly only
Yeah,
by
yeah.
seeing the demand and
They have
supply,
they have
they invest.
uh,
Yes, and in
they
the
have
light of,
loyal customers to
in the light of
those
that,
who
they
like
could do.
quality.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Arma, please go ahead so
Yes,
that we can move
ma'am,
on.
the other disadvantage could also be that, like an organization, it has a central idea of its goals and aims.
Hmm.
But when we are departmentalizing on the basis of products, then we are giving special attention to each product. Like our
Hmm.
advertisement
Hmm.
policies will differ for each product
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
on. So
Hmm.
it can also lead to differentiation or variation from the central idea of the organization in case of different departments.
It could happen, but more or less they should all be in the light of the goal of the organization. But it could happen if the top management would lose control. If the top management will lose control, if the CEO will keep losing control, then it might happen, over a period of time, that they may deviate, or because of lack of coordination, it might happen. Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, adding to the advantage, we can also say that if a product line is suffering from loss, then it can be compensated from the profits of other products, and hence the company will not be able to suffer absolute loss.
Mm-hmm. It
So
could
we
be.
can say that the company will always be profitable in this manner.
It could be. It could happen. Okay.
Ma'am, can we say there can be a case of conflict because, like you told, that there are possibility that two or three people may be working on the same product, so that can cause.
No, no. Conflict will be less because there's only one departmental head and he's taking care of the things. That the conflict may happen if the CEO would have had a complete control. Then the conflict might have happened between the product division head and the CEO. But you never know. Even in the hierarchy, in the normal hierarchy, also the conflicts could happen with his their juniors, but it's not something which is very often. Okay, so let's move on further. And so we have mentioned the departmentalization on the basis of functions, on the basis of products. And similarly, many a times there are departmentalization on the basis of geographical region. For example, there are North Zone department who is taking care of North Zone, South Zone, East Zone, West Zone. So there are also departmentalization on the basis of their geographical region. Uh, and many times companies are taking care of, for example, different continents also, where they are sending, so that in that way also the geographical region could come into play. Another departmentalization could be on the basis of the customer. It could be called as customer departmentalization, where the departments could be specifically designed, could be specifically laid out to handle maybe foreign customers, domestic customers, wholesale customers could be there, and retail customers could be there. So there are a variety of customers for whom there could be different departments, because different strategies are to be followed for this. So this is basically departmentalization. And now I would like to start with creating matrix organization. Since we have discussed what is functional departmentalization and what is product departmentalization, now this matrix organization will show you how the functional departmentalization and product departmentalization comes into play at one time. Okay, it is quite important. I hope you all, you know, participate and discuss. So I would like to just share my screen. Okay, so are you able to view the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Visible.
Is the matrix structure visible that is written?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Still it is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक. So matrix structure. Now this is what I have tried to create. See here, if you see the sorry, yeah, they are production manager, finance manager, marketing manager, and R&D manager. And vertically, you can see there is functional divisionalization. There's function, for example, finance function is there, and then there are finance group. So it is a functional divisionalization vertically. And project A, project B, project C, you can call it as project or you can call it as product. So horizontally, there is product departmentalization. Okay, because product A has his its production group, finance group, marketing group, HR group. So horizontally we have the product departmentalization, and vertically we have the functional divisionalization. Now what happens? That here there is a kind of overlapping. Should I increase the size of the slide, or is it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Is it better now? Because I don't want to maximize it, I still have to give permission to students to enter. That is why. Okay. So see, is it still visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see, what happens in a matrix structure is that it is a structure in which people and resources are grouped in two ways simultaneously, by function and by product or project. For example, there's a project taking place, so it is a product that would come up. So we can call it as a project or product. So matrix structure is a structure in which people and resources are grouped in two ways simultaneously, by functional departmentalization and by product departmentalization. The vertical flow shows the functional responsibility, like I just mentioned. And the horizontal flow, it shows the product responsibility, the product departmentalization it is showing. Now, what happens is there is superimposition of one or more forms of departmentalization on top of an existing form. For example, you can see my arrow, if it is visible, it is the your functional departmentalization. For example, the finance group, the finance functional departmentalization is there. And this is product A departmentalization. So, for example, if I create a circle like this and I create a circle like this, then it is superimposing each other. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There is the superimposition of one or more forms of departmentalization, because then the product departmentalization and the function departmentalization will be overlapping. Okay, so product departments may be superimposed by functional departmentalization. So what happens, which is important, the feature is that there are two boss employees. The person, for example, this finance group will have to take care of the finance manager. He will also report to finance manager, and he will also report to the product manager, right? So he will be reporting to two bosses. So there will be a two boss employee. That is, an employee will be reporting to two bosses, one in the functional department, that is the functional manager, and other boss will be in the product department, who would be the product or project manager. Is it clear till here or no?
Ma'am, it's clear.
Clear.
Yes, ma'am, it's
Explain
clear.
the point of ma'am, can you please explain the point of superimposing again?
Yes, I just mentioned that, for example, there is a finance group, this is a finance manager, this is a function, finance function, right? So if I circle this like, I hope you can see the arrow. So this is the functional on the basis of the finance. And this is product A. So if I circle like this, then it will be overlapping. This will be the common. Okay, it will be overlapping. The finance group will be the common in both. So there will be superimposition, and there will be dual reporting, because the employee shall be reporting to two bosses, one in the functional department, the function manager, and other in the product department, who will be the product manager. And dual reporting along product and geographical lines are very common in matrix approach. Dual reporting is the basic feature of the matrix approach. And there are two flows of responsibility always, vertical and horizontal. One has to take care of the vertical responsibilities also and the horizontal responsibilities also. Now, suppose there's a project A. So the whole horizontal line is producing product A. Okay, in product A, the production group, finance group, marketing group, personal group, the whole group is taking care of product A, project A. So there will be many employees in the finance, marketing, engineering department. Then in the vertical flow, it may show the finance group. So the finance employees from the finance department are spread all over the company, who are taking care of different projects, right? Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So in the vertical, there are all finance people who are spread all over the company, and they are taking care of different projects. So for product A, we are concerned about the finance people who are involved in finance, the production people who are involved in the production of product A, marketing and HR people who are involved in product A. Now, it helps in better and faster ways to develop products, because there's more communication between production group, finance group, marketing group, and HR group. So it is a better and a faster way to develop the product, and also to respond to customer needs, because then they may be having better communication. They may be they are able to work together, and they are able to understand each other's needs, and that is why they are able to quickly and fastly produce products. So this is what matrix structure is, where two flows are together, the vertical and horizontal, and the employee has to report to the functional manager and the product manager simultaneously. Okay. Now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of matrix structure. Advantages are quite a few, because it is an efficient way for bringing together the diverse specialized skills, because production people, finance people, marketing people, and HR people all together are working together to produce one product A. And there is efficient communication, because all are collaborating. I have created lines between production group, finance group, marketing group. So this is showing communication. They all are collaborating, all are communicating. Now, because of this, another advantage is that they are able to overcome the problem of subunit orientation. Many times what happens, that there's a unit, finance unit, for example. Okay. So, or you can say there's a marketing unit. So these are units. So through this, how they are able to overcome the problem of subunit orientation? See, many times employees who are involved in marketing, they may not recognize the finance part. They may not recognize the how much financial resources are left, or how much resources are required for the marketing, right? But since here people are communicating a lot, they can acknowledge the needs of each other. They can acknowledge the needs of other functional departments. For example, marketing people may need money to market their product. But since they are communicating with the finance department, they may acknowledge that, okay, they are not in the position to invest a lot in marketing. So that is okay. They may have to go with less budget, which is available, right? So this is how they may be able to overcome the problem of subunit orientation. Are you able to understand, or am I able to explain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, another advantage could be that it allows people to learn more about other functions. Since one is close to the employee from the other department, they may be, having informal meetings. They may be meeting over a cup of tea and they all may be working on a product together. It is not that that a marketing department is sending all like discussing only with themselves, and then finally they are sending the requirement to finance department. No. Or the personal group, the HR group, they are hiring people without knowing what is the need of actually production department or marketing group. So they all are interconnected. So this is how they're also able to learn about each other's functions. They may be knowing that how other function works, which they may not know otherwise, right? Then there is quick transfer of valuable employees also, because if managers are happy with employees, they can transfer the employee from product A to product B. If a person is showing a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of hard work and good performance, he could always be sent to could be moved or transferred to the other product which might need attention, urgent attention. So because of communication, it is possible. And because of, good relation, good coordination, it is possible. Then it also improves employee motivation. Since product manager has autonomy, we discussed this in the product departmentalization, that the product manager have complete autonomy. So since he has autonomy, he is able to also give, power to the production manager, finance manager, marketing manager, and personal manager, depending upon how much autonomy might be given. So people are motivated because they have a right to work, they have right to decide, they feel that they are able to express, so they feel motivated. And another advantage, we can also say that it promotes concern about both cost and quality. Okay, because product manager will always push the employees towards high quality. And for example, if there's finance manager, he would be concerned about cost also. So high quality in a reasonable cost would be achieved. Similarly, if marketing manager is there, then product manager will be concerned about the overall quality, and marketing manager would be able to produce, marketing solutions in okay, I should wanted to join. So marketing solutions could also be provided in the light of high quality. So these could be basically the advantages of matrix structure. Any point anyone want to add, any idea coming to your mind? Let's discuss advantages or disadvantages also. And then if anything come up, you can always share. And even if the class ends, you can always post on WhatsApp group and we can have a discussion there as well. So disadvantages are also there. See, matrix structure is a complex structure and not everyone could adapt well to a matrix structure. Okay, because everybody might not be very used to communicating, might be not very used to allowing people to, to know about their activities or to share what they are doing with others. So everyone might not adapt well to matrix structure. And in matrix structure, like it is seen in case of each product, there's a lack of hierarchy. Pratika, if you can acknowledge that, there's a lack of hierarchy. All people are at the same level, and there's a lack of hierarchy. For example, this is quite flat. Usually we have three levels, three hierarchical levels, but this we can see it is quite flat and thus it lacks hierarchy. So nobody is, as if they are taking order from someone. It is more in a informal form, which maybe people might not be very used to. Now here conflicts may occur. Because the functional head and the product head, they are two bosses. There are two bosses whom an employee is following. So product manager may say that higher quality of the product is needed, but the finance manager may say that there are not enough finances to produce high quality product. He would say that I need more money to create high quality product. I might need better resources. I might need better raw material to produce high quality product. But the finance manager may not be having enough finances. So here the Parvesa is joining. So here the conflicts may arise because in this case the functional head and the product head, their ideas may vary. If a product head may say that I need high quality and the finance manager may not have enough finances to finance, so how would the high quality raw material or high quality items or machineries maybe could be arranged? So in these cases, it may create chaos and confusion. Another disadvantage could be that there would be a lot of multitasking for employees, because employees would be following the order of the functional head as well as the product manager. So there would be multitasking, which would lead to increase in pressure of work, and it may deteriorate the performance. Like I said, it is not easy for all to adapt well to a matrix structure. So it is also hard to design and manage relationships in this structure. It is hard to find people who may fit in the matrix structure. And how can we overcome these pitfalls? To overcome these pitfalls, employees are working these days in a traditional structure, and they may be required to train on interpersonal relationships before they are placed in matrix structure. Because in a traditional structure, there's a proper hierarchy, there's not more lot of communication, so they're not used to it. They're not used to a lot of communicating and coordinating and interpersonal relationships. So training they should be first get used to it before they step into a matrix structure. Also, people who are interested in working in a matrix structure, they could be chosen. It could be on the basis of volunteering or on the basis of willingness. People could be willingly, volunteer to work in this kind of a setup. So basically, it is important to develop new perspective in our minds, because managers now require um, flexibility. They need to develop ideas frequently, and only then the complexity would be addressed. So some people may think that some people may think that organization is about passion, and at the same time some people may think that organization is about money. So there could be always conflict between the mindsets of people. So what is important is, the challenge is that the matrix structure is not so difficult to build. What is difficult is to create matrix structure in the minds of managers. If they develop it in their minds, then they could also replicate that in organizations. So this was your metrics structure, and I just found this where you can see how one is asking an employee to do something important, and he's saying that he already has something else to do, which is given a task by integration manager. Maybe he says maybe you could do after that, and then he says after that I'm rushing for another job which is given by another manager. So this is how metrics management works.
Ma'am, will you be sharing this PPT as well as the PPT we discussed Henry Fayol's principles of management?
Sure, we can do that. And also, Sir has an article on metrics management, which we would also share with you on WhatsApp group. So there you can go, you can read about it in detail. And if you have any query, you can always come back. So, sir, we just finished metrics management.
So, do we have recap today?
No, sir, not yet.
So we have still 3-4 minutes. So,
Gee, sir, okay. We have only one student today to present the recap. Daim,
Yes, ma'am.
could you please start the recap?
Sure, ma'am. Good morning, sir. We started our discussion with heuristics and how they develop. Heuristic develop because of our past experiences, and not only past experience, also the kind of context we are born in. For example, someone born in a Christian family, a Muslim family, or Jewish family, someone born in rural region or urban region. So all these shape our heuristic. For example, we in Aligarh see firsthand these heuristics. We say Kashmiris are like that, or if he is Bihari, he must be giving UPSC, civil service examinations. We also say people from there are like that, people from that place are like that. I'm a Muslim, people think I recite Urdu poetry, Sher and Shairi, which I really don't. So we make stereotype based on person background and often make judgment on the basis of limited interaction with them. Furthermore, about past experiences, we may have some bad experiences as well, such as girls are trustworthy and boys are not. This can be because of bad past experience. So we make a stereotype based on our past experiences, which may be correct or not. Also, part experiences, we have some anchors based on our past experiences, which were explained by the example. When the management complex was built under PMC, so when they advertise For the architect, they asked what is a good fee for an architect, and to which they said the industry standard is 2 to 3%, depending on the qualification of the architect. So they had an anchor based on the past prevailing practice on this account. So we do not pull a decision out of thin air, and some anchors already been established, and we base our decision on that. So is it good to base our decision on heuristics, because we have stereotypes prevailing in our society? Like one of the stereotypes is girls are not so good at math, because of which there's a huge difference in gender ratio in engineering, medical, and humanities. If a boy is born engineer, if a girl is born doctor, so we can conclude stereotypes simplify decision making naturally, and we have our past experiences, intuition based on, so that it simplifies decision making. For a negative side of thing, if we rely too heavily on intuition, we may miss out on chance of exploring and learning, because we don't know, we might actually have a pleasant experience. It's like the Schrodinger's cat, we may not find until we open the box. So we need to explore and learn to postpone our judgment to make good judgment. So we can say heuristics are good in some way, helpful in decision making, but sometimes they make us unfair, and we have to be conscious about that. Then we started our third unit, which is organizing. So when we say we are organized, we are trying to arrange activities in such a way that they come out systematically, and we are able to set those activities in a systematic manner. So it may contribute to our common goal. For example, we plan a party or event, we arrange activities to make a common goal, which is even to be successful. Similarly, this happen in an organization as well. People specialize in different fields, and there is a need to coordinate those tasks and arrange those tasks in such a way that they contribute towards organization's goal. We further discuss about departments, departmentalization, and how departments are created, and on what basis we create departments. In every organization, there are activities and people with similar skills and specialization are put together. For example, in a hospital, there's a cardiology department, radiology department, neurology, ENT, nursing. So we create department on the basis of similar activities they are performing. So we can say departmentalization is a process through which enterprise or organization activities are grouped together and they are assigned to a manager. Departments are created around function, products. Department created by functions can be accounting, HR, marketing, sales, etc. Functionality on which they perform work more efficiently, as all members of the department specializes in the same field, which helps in running things smoothly, and which in turn generate more revenue for the company, as these departments are also headed by a department head for proper functioning of the department. So this also has some drawbacks, as he may feel overburdened sometimes to take care of each and every decision, which might lead to slowness in decision making. Another drawback may be each department is so focused with their activities, they might lack the holistic approach. This was all about yesterday. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Daim. It was a good recap, but we will analyze it on the next turn because we have
Okay.
run out of time. But we have jotted down our points. We'll discuss. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
sir.
you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.